Hello and welcome to Front End Horse Live. How's it going, everybody? We got some great people in the chat already, and we've got our friend Tom Miller here. Tom, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Good to be back.
Yeah, we had you on, I think almost a year ago now, right? Back in the summer of '69. Oh, it's good. No, summer last year. Yeah, you came on and showed us an awesome scroll animation with Godzilla. Actually, I gotta pull that up.
Yeah, the scroll kaiju.
Yeah, that was fantastic. We were doing component carousel, and you came on and showed us this like really cool effects. Can someone actually find that so I'm not spending the next 10 minutes just browsing CodePen? But yeah, you were fantastic. I'm so glad that you're back, and you are absolutely one of my favorite codepenistas. I'm not sure what we say, but you always make some really, really excellent stuff. And just thrilled to have you on. So for anyone who might not know you, they're going to get to know you. But how would you kind of introduce yourself? How would you speak about yourself?
I would consider myself a GreenSock expert. I think I'm probably technically a front-end developer, but I don't take very many traditional front-end jobs. I kind of try hard to get the creative coding end of the spectrum.
I think you nail it, absolutely. I mean, like you are, so I'll pull up your site here. So you are, you go by Creative Ocean kind of across the internet as your handle, or I guess as your business, right? Or it's your freelancing company?
It is a South Carolina registered S Corp.
As all good online handles are. Yeah, I'm sure everyone that I play against in, Fortnite or whatever, all of their online handles are South Carolina registered S Corp. So that's perfect. That's what we want. But I will.
It's not really a loophole state, though.
Really?
Much benefit to being here, besides it just being a pretty spot to live.
That's fair. But I love this site. You already have like great scroll effects here. I think some of this we're going to be touching on, like a little bit of the DrawSVG kind of style right there in the corner. Yeah, you're just always making really smooth, perfectly timed animations. Just always been a big fan of your stuff. Oh, I closed out your CodePen here. Let me pull up this. So you are not just a GreenSock expert, but you are like on the GreenSock homepage. Each one of these is something that you created, right?
Yeah. That was probably the most rewarding project I've worked on in this decade.
Because it's on the homepage. Is that?
Yeah, because I'm a huge fan of GreenSock. Without it, I probably would have switched careers when Flash died. The internet was a less exciting place before GreenSock really took hold, and so to get to build something that's so prominently displayed and kind of shows off how versatile and potent the platform is. It's a real honor to be involved in it.
Super cool. I love all of these animations, and I need to pull up your Ocean CodePen. There we go. Cool. I had it and then I closed it, and it's just rookie streamer mistake, honestly. But we actually showed off some of your CodePens in. Oh, why is this? Oh, it took a little while to load. In an article for Front End Horse, and shared, I think probably all of your pens at some point in the newsletter.
Yep.
Really great interactions, animations, just always, just really well timed. I think is some of the toughest stuff for me to get right, at least. Like making it feel really perfect. Does that take a while to like tween it just right? Like do you go back and iterate and like change decimals around a lot? Is that?
It's tons of refinement. I used to work at this post-production place where somebody said we can get 90% there, whatever the finish line is for a project in the first 10%. And then we're going to spend the remaining 90% of the project getting it that last 10% done. Those broad brushstrokes can go really quick, but you got to have a lot of patience to dial it in just right.
Yeah. Well, you definitely had that experience. You have those skills, and I'm excited for you to teach us a really cool scrolling image gallery effect that you cooked up. I'm thrilled that you're here. I'm thrilled that you brought this to us, and I'm excited to learn. But first, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say I was working on this, and it felt like it was kind of something better than just sort of a not a throwaway, but like I wasn't just noodling around with like, all right, I made a fun little loop. Like it felt like it got to a place where I really wanted to talk it through, and what better place than with you, Alex?
I genuinely appreciate that. That's super kind of you, and yeah, I'm always excited to learn from you, man. We have some fantastic people in chat, by the way. So Amit, thank you so much for the sub, my friend. Good to see you. And another person who just has animations dialed in. Amit Sheen. I always stutter on your name, buddy. Sorry.
He's a rock star.
Right?
Absolute rock star.
Right?
I know.
Huge shout out.
I love his work.
Yeah. Brent is here. Good to see you. Juk, welcome. I'm going with Juk. Great to have you. Natalia, I believe. Franiak. I'm gonna butcher the name. Sorry, but you also make fantastic code pens. Big fan of your stuff. Aaron's here. Silver. Ben, good to see you. Adrian. Conquer. Good to see y'all. Thank you so much for being here. And someone just followed and I missed it. I'm very sorry. But so good to see everyone here. So we did a little bit of introduction to Tom. I think we checked that box. We have to set up our code pen now. So you kind of sent along the HTML and CSS kind of boilerplate, and we are gonna just take a quick look at that. I think I can give this a name. I would suppose. Let's go gallery scroll effect, and I'll make this a little bigger for everybody. And so right now it doesn't look like we have anything in there, right? Do you want to walk us through the HTML or the CSS first?
Sure. You could probably hide. Well, maybe it's just as easy to look at the code rather than to try and see it.
Cool.
But for the moment, ignore anything inside the SVG.
Okay.
So to start in the HTML, there's a div. Scroll dist, that's going to be our proxy element that gets height
from at the top. Cool.
The stack of, at the very top. And then inside of the next div, the app div, like I said, just ignore the SVG and get down to the image group div. So this is just a stack of image tags. Like they've all got data attributes that'll come in handy later, but cool. They have the same height and width. They don't necessarily have to. I think it looks nice having them all with a uniform height and width, but the code we're going to write is versatile enough to use a mix of different heights and widths.
Okay.
But ultimately, we're going to take the sort of natural height that these images all stacked up as block level elements would create, and then we're going to apply that height to the proxy scroll div, and then that'll give us some distance to scroll when we turn this into a nice smooth scrolling interaction.
Awesome. So can you describe what like we will experience by the end, just so folks kind of understand what we're moving towards?
So I've definitely seen some things like this out there before, so it's not totally novel. But the idea was to create sort of a scrolling sort of forward backwards in space. So things are going to move in
Got it.
their
It's coming
Z
towards
state,
you.
or on the Z axis, coming towards us. We're not going to use Three.js. It's just going to be natural, whatever native transforms on the image elements.
Cool.
Well, actually, we're going to wrap them in each one of them in a div so that we can do some parallax.
Nice. All right, great. So that's like our HTML. Then we got another SVG at the bottom. We'll touch on that later, right?
Yeah, all of the other stuff was just kind of added after the original or the initial effect was sketched out.
Cool.
To add a little bit more polish.
Cool. Do you want to walk us through any of the CSS? Anything here that we need to know about, or is it all?
I mean, it should be really simple. It's putting everything to the full height and width of the browser,
Cool.
and resetting margins and padding and font size just to keep everything, predictable.
Cool. So
And
kill
then
the
it's
opacity
setting
real quick so that folks can see. Sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of a mess because we've got some extra elements. For the DrawSVG text at the beginning, but basically the CSS is meant to make those images display block,
Cool.
and then make the I think that's it. Maybe positioning some of those other pieces. Absolute.
Awesome. Sounds good. Yeah, pretty simple in terms of the CSS. So all the magic's going to happen in the JavaScript with GreenSock. So was there anything else we should touch on before we kick that off?
No, let's dive into JavaScript.
Awesome. Love it. So, we did not do that part yet. Cool. So should I pull in GSAP here?
Yes, we definitely need the latest GSAP.
Cool.
We'll also need scroll trigger and DrawSVG plugin.
Okay, so GSAP here, and then scroll trigger. Do you do this one, or do you do the add packages now? Which one do you use? Do you like have them come in at the top as an import, or do you do like the hidden import off to the side? Curious.
I'm not sure I knew about this other way of doing it. I just do the add external script.
Let's see, GSAP.
Interesting. It probably doesn't make a difference.
Let's hope not. Or we could spend the whole time just debugging the second one. Scroll. Okay, I'm having trouble finding GSAP scroll trigger. So let's go back. Let's just do this one.
Wait, just type scroll trigger.
It did come up, right?
At some point, I think at some point they petitioned CodePen to have that bumped into the top of the list.
Okay, if you're using scroll trigger in npm, how would you import it? Like in a project. So we've got GSAP here. Let's just see docs. How you would you import it from GSAP or as a separate thing?
I'm not the traditional front end developer.
No worries. Okay, I'm not gonna spend too much.
I never do anything outside of just writing animation code, really.
That's all good. You're exactly who we want to talk to. This is not the doc for like installing. I'm not sure where that would be though. Real-time usability testing. The docs don't mean to be. Let's see. And does this have it either? No. Okay. So documentation.
I'll bet I can find you it's probably linked from the homepage.
Linked from the homepage. No worries. We already spent a minute on a thing that we didn't need to. I apologize. It's me getting us into trouble. GSAP. Let's go with GSAP. Let's go with scroll trigger right there. See how easy that is? And then DrawSVG.
DrawSVG. Yep.
I do like this one because it makes it obvious here what's going on, where I don't feel like everyone knows to go to append settings and check the JavaScript there, right? Because sometimes it's just all of a sudden there's just like you see GSAP dot whatever, or there's like something happening just automatically, and it might not be obvious just looking at append that there's some JavaScript going on. I don't think everyone knows to go to settings and check in there. So like that's kind of why I partly prefer.
Interesting to know. I check that JS resources on most pens that I check out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if everyone does, just because it is tucked away, but maybe they do. I don't know. Anyway, good to see Travis. Low blow, but accurate. Yeah, that's good. Game Master Thompson, I'm late to the party. Do you have a demo of what you're making? We do, but we typically hold off on it so that it's like kind of like a reveal. So sorry to
So that you find out whether or not the juice was worth the squeeze.
Exactly. Yeah, we're setting up for disappointment. It's fun that way. No, it's gonna be good. Cool. So we've got all of our plugins set up, and we're good to go. So what do we want to start with?
Okay. Well, let's throw in a window on load function. However you like to do that, and then inside of there, we're gonna write a couple of GSAP.
Cool.
All right, so let's do GSAP set, and we're going to set the scroll disk. So that's the.
Did I already screw this up? Is that not how you do an onload? No, onload is not a function.
It looks okay.
It's equal.
You don't need the extra. There
right,
you go.
You set it. There you go. There we go. Cool. GSAP set. We're going to do the disk, the scroll disk ID. So just like this.
You got it.
Cool. Passing an object.
Hey, can I ask you a question about?
Yeah.
Do you think it is just bad practice or actually a mistake to reference IDs as global variables?
I'll leave that to the chat. Honestly, I'm not sure. Reference IDs as global variables.
I'm pretty sure you can do it in just about any browser. So like if you left off the query stuff, like if it wasn't a string, if it was just scroll disk, I think it would still work. I think it would still correctly find that element and apply it.
This would work?
Yeah, because in most browsers, I think pretty much all of them, anything that has an ID, those IDs become properties of the window or the document or both.
I did not know that, but yeah, that does feel funky to me.
It's kind of like mystical and magical, but I'm looking for reasons why I shouldn't do it.
I mean, if you're working just on your own stuff and you're sure that there's never going to be any conflict or whatever, sure. But like, I would be immediately looking, where the heck is he getting scroll disk from? Right? Like I would go searching in your settings. I'd be like, I don't see like where is this coming from?
It's kind of like I remember looking at one of Zach Sautier's inner width
example.
And I was like, what is inner width? Where is inner width? But you can, directly reference anything that's a property of the window without having to write window because it's globally accessible.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, but so for that one though, it's like, okay, that's just, on the window, like that one makes sense to me, but this one's a custom thing, and I would either then assume that it is an API that I didn't know about or something like that. So yeah, I feel like right, the way. Yeah, and I think chat
that's so much more obvious that it's an ID.
Yeah, it's just it's like a couple extra characters, and I think it's just more straight to the point of like, this is what I'm referencing. I know exactly to go to the HTML to find that. I don't have to guess that scroll disk is like a window.scroll disk or something. But I did not realize that you can do that. That's wild. So thank you for letting me know. But yeah, I think sticking with the string is more straightforward.
The conversation a
all good. All right. What are we setting for our properties?
Okay. Well, so let's give that 100% width, and then we're going to assign a height based on the height of the app. Yep. There you go.
And then height is.
So you're going to do GSAP.getProperty.
I really wish we had like some
Oh,
help.
code hinting.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna get property takes in 2 parameters. You're gonna give it the object, so that's hashtag app, and then the second one is height because that's the property you want to get.
So like that.
Yep, exactly.
Cool.
Yep. So the app, based on the CSS that we used, is making the images give the app height, and so that's what you're doing is effectively getting. You could also do this with targeting the image group. Yeah, IMG group.
Got
Same
it.
thing.
Cool. I'll shrink this again.
All right, so as soon as we get that height,
right,
then we can cease letting the app have height, because we then want to turn our whole app into a kind of a fixed frame.
Okay.
So giving scroll distance height makes it so that the window has somewhere to scroll to.
Okay.
And then now let's put an on complete beneath height.
Thank you for the follow. On complete.
Oh,
So
no. It's a parameter.
Oh,
inside
right.
Object. There you go.
Thank you.
And so then inside an anonymous function.
Cool. You go with arrow functions?
I love them.
Cool.
And I think they're safe to use now, right?
Yeah.
Uncompiled.
Chat, let us know. Chat's got some opinions on the ID. It does not seem to be the way to go. Just from chat's overall vibe. But anyway, yeah. On complete. So yeah.
Okay, let's go give the app.
Okay.
You're going to set 2 things inside of here. So we're going to GSAP set the app. And actually, we're also going to do this to the image group. So, comma, hashtag IMG group. Yeah, camel case. Thanks.
Is it IMG GROUP or?
Yeah, you got
it. Cool. All right, nice. And then.
So it'll have a height and width that's 100%.
Okay.
We got to toggle the opacity, so we might as well do that in here too.
Cool. On these, so opacity 1.
Yep.
Cool.
Image group wasn't set to opacity 0, but app was, while all of the images loaded.
Cool.
We're going to give them both a position fixed.
All right. Let me just save this so it
and a top
formats.
Oh, nice. And then top left 0.
Top left 0?
Yeah. Top 0, left 0.
Oh, okay, got it. Does inset work for these? Are we doing just top and left, or are we doing bottom and right also?
Just top and left.
Okay.
It's keeping it from. You don't have to have quotes on these.
Good call.
I mean, I don't think it'll break anything. But
no, it does make them into numbers, but it's a little bit nicer to not have that.
So we're going to give one last prop to this, which is a perspective of 300. And so without that, all of our 3D transforms would look funky.
Got it.
But
okay.
Giving that perspective a nice low perspective value. I mean, if you don't like it too wild and like sort of like forced perspective, you can bump that number up.
Okay.
Or if you want it really severe, you could go lower.
Got it. All right, cool.
So then outside of this function, let's write another set for the app images.
So outside of this set, so we're coming all the way down to the bottom.
A new GSAP set.
Cool. And this is for app images?
This is, yep.
How do we spell that? App.
It's just It's okay. So it's hashtag app space img. So it's applying to all of
Cool.
the images that are inside of app.
All right, nice. And app is lowercase, right? Just checking. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All right, all the images
Okay, so
and passing in an object. Got it.
we're going to set the position of the images now to absolute because we don't care about their flow in the document anymore.
Cool.
And then we're going to set the attributes on these to give it a loop. So type attr. Yeah, there you go.
Is that an object?
And then, yep, and we're going to set the ID. And you're going to do an anonymous function here, but you're going to pass 3 parameters to that function.
Okay.
I, the iterator, T, the target, and A, the array.
Cool.
Actually, I don't think we're
would you be
using
cool
array,
if we type these out? So just I can remember.
Sure.
For tidier code, it works. This is the target and array.
So
array
on any function-based definition in GSAP can take up these values.
Okay.
And that's largely not necessary to have anything beyond the iterator. But if you're doing something that maybe is a fraction of the set, it's nice to have the array so that you can get the length and return values that are fractions of the whole.
Cool. Makes sense.
Does that sort of make sense?
Yeah. Right. You're getting the context outside of this one item, right?
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Cool. We're not going to use array, but just so that we can see all of the parameters that you can pass in.
Cool. Appreciate it.
Inside of this, I'm just using GSAP's built-in loop so that I can init each image.
Okay.
And then at the end of it, we're going to return the string img plus I, or img plus iterator. So there you go.
That?
Perfect.
Cool.
But right above it, we're going to call a function called initImage, or initImg, and pass the iterator and the target.
It is not happy. Should I make that down here?
Yeah, we got to make that.
Cool. All right, are we done up here, or should we hop to initImage?
That's it. Let's go down and fill out initImage. So it's going to get the I and the T.
Cool.
Actually, I shouldn't have done it this way, but I transposed them. I did target and then I. Guess it doesn't really make any. Yeah.
So
in my code,
the target's first then.
Yeah.
Cool.
No.
Oh, sorry.
In my initImage, I've got that mistake in my code.
Got it. Should we replicate it, or it doesn't really matter as long as it's coming in fine, right?
I just need to fix my code.
I don't think it's gonna
wrongly transpose
change anything unless you're destructuring it.
It just matters how you pass them in. Into the function.
Even if it's a custom function?
Okay, so
yeah.
I'm saying on my own code pen that I'm using as my cheat sheet as we go through.
Right.
I just uncovered my mistake. I've got target before iterator, so
I can change it.
For just the moment, let's.
Sounds good.
Yeah. There you go.
Cool.
It definitely would have made more sense not to make that mistake.
All good. Walton's here. We got some great Fuzzy's here. Nikki's here. Good to see y'all. Awesome. All right. Getting into it. Cool. So what do we do inside initImage?
Okay, so for every image, we're going to create a wrapper box, which is just a div element that will have overflow hidden.
Okay.
And then we're going to append the target image to that box, and then append the box to the image group.
Okay. Interesting.
Does that sound good?
Yeah. Walk me through it.
Okay. So let's create a const box, which is document create element div. And then we're going to box append child target.
Cool.
And then this was what we decided we weren't going to do. Image group append box. So you probably want to do.
Got it. I see what you're saying. Okay. Here it's a shortcut, but yeah, I still think that the.
No, I think it's this conversation has made me convinced that it's probably a practice that I shouldn't continue.
I'm glad that
you're not creating any element.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Oh no, that's what happens. Okay. How do I? Shoot. We broke CodePen, everybody. I don't know how that happened. That's really funny. CodePen just quit on us. All right. So it's const box.
It's probably because we're constantly refreshing.
Oh, we are?
I think you are. I think your settings
window
have,
on load.
like auto. You're in your settings up next to the save button.
Oh yeah.
You could turn off auto refresh.
Yeah, but like. All right, I'll do it for this one. Auto updating preview. I don't like the run button. It's just I always
I
forget
100% agree.
I always forget it. Yeah,
but
we can hold off on it.
When you're doing a lot of looping,
got it. That makes sense.
I like the challenge of trying to beat the auto preview.
Yeah,
trying to finish my loop before it catches it and then crashes the whole thing.
It is a high stakes typing speed challenge. So image group.
Image box, image group. And
query
ID.
Selector okay.
Or that. That's cool. Both good.
Cool. So many things, so many ways to do things now. Image group. Cool. So we got that image group, and now.
So then you're gonna append box.append child target,
and then
image group append child box.
Cool.
So again, for each image we're putting the image into a wrapper div, and then putting that wrapper div back where we got the image.
Cool. All right.
All right. Good. So let's do a GSAP set function on box to give the box some properties.
But maybe not. Okay. Cool. Are we doing that in an image though?
Yep. So GSAP.set box, and then you're gonna have a good bit of properties here.
Okay.
I'll just run through them. It's gonna start with pointer events none, because we'll toggle pointer events to make the different image boxes clickable.
Got it. Cool.
Later on, at the very end, each box is going to have a position absolute. We'll give them ID and class names, so those are both attributes. So wrap that ID in ATTR.
Thank you. What do we call this one?
So then that would be just call each one box plus image number, or you were calling it iterator.
Cool. So iterator is an integer, just of what?
Yeah, it's the parameter that you. It's the parameter that you passed into init image.
Yeah, I just didn't fully. I didn't know what it. Oh, target iterator. Hold on. There we go.
I think that came from our crash.
I think so too. All right, hitting save.
And actually, that should be the other way around.
Shoot, iterator target.
On line 20, line 21,
Yeah.
that should be iterator target array.
Okay.
And then on line 22, do target and then iterator.
So I don't think this matters for as long as we're passing this in though. Like as long as it's the same as what it's expecting and it's expecting iterator first. Like I think that's good.
It does matter because you're transposing the value. The value is being assigned in sequence. So they're not object names. Does that make sense? So right now we're iterator. It doesn't matter if you how do I explain this better?
It's cool if we want to just keep going. Or swap it out. I really think that we're good to keep it as it is, but all good to swap it back to. I mean, if we were passing it to an API that we couldn't control, then like the order would matter because it's what it's expecting. But since we're creating the function, we can create it in like whatever order we want, and then
I see what you're saying because as long as you're consistent with it when you define the function down below.
Right. Yeah. Where like what we're getting from GreenSock, we can't control that in any way. Like iterator is going to be first, right? So anyway,
exactly. Yeah.
Let's keep rolling.
Yeah. No, you're 100%.
All good.
So
saved it, and we're ready to. Oh yeah, we got more here. So box plus iterator. Cool.
Yep. And then we'll also give it a class name of img box, just so that at the end of this we can reference all of the image boxes at once.
Nice.
Okay, so then width is going to be target.width. This is outside the attributes because it's a div.
Yeah,
not
good
an
call.
image.
Cool.
I think you need a comma after your closing curly.
I do. Good eye. Thanks.
Height is going to be target.height. The overflow is going to be hidden. Again, these are sort of container boxes that are hiding the rest of the image so that we can create that kind of sense of parallax.
Okay.
We're going to give it a good centering. Top 50%, left 50%, and then X% -50, Y% -50.
And X% does what again?
X% changes the sort of like offset. It's -50, not percent. They're just in.
X and Y are negative. Okay, so just X
number values. Well, we're going to set that too. So we're going top left, which is going to push the box over and down, and then we're going to use the X% and Y% props to shift it back
by its own size.
But without wasting the X and Y props, which we also need.
Okay. So did I delete the wrong thing?
Here, just below left, add in X%. X with a capital P, percent, -50. Not in quotes or anything.
Okay, that makes sense. Y% -50 again?
Yep.
Cool. Now
all right, so your top left pushed it to the the center point of the window, and then your X% shifted it back so that the center of it is at the center.
Cool.
And then your X and Y are going to pull the X and Y data attributes from those images.
Got it.
So then that'll give you a nice and clean way to write the offsets from the center in your image, so back up in the HTML, in your image tag.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so those will be target.dataset.x and target.dataset.y.
What will be the ones in the HTML?
The X and Y.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So your X should be target.dataset.x. Your Y should be target.dataset.y.
Is dataset
You want to?
camel?
Yep, that's right. No,
So,
you got it.
okay.
Lowercase.
So all lowercase, cool. Real quick, I was wondering. Yeah.
Show the tags real quick so that we can see those.
Cool.
There you go. Data X, data Y.
So we have. So how did you determine these? Is kind of how I'm wondering here. How did you
just
choose
a nice little mix so that this
so
is part of the that 90% getting to the 10% finish line.
Got it. So these are going to determine where they fly in from on the screen, like top, left, right. Like, okay, cool.
Yep. Well, when they're way off in the distance, which we will get to in just a moment.
Okay.
In VSpace, when they're so far away, you can't really tell that they have any offset. And as they gradually get closer, you want a few of them just a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there. Just gives a nice, bit of diversity there.
Cool. All right.
And then I think that's it.
Okay.
Let's give those a perspective of 500 because we're going to mess with the 3D rotations of the images inside.
Okay.
We're going to do 3D transforms on the image boxes, and we're going to do 3D transforms on the images inside.
Cool. All right, nice. I'm excited.
We're just going to stack up all kinds of processor taxing tricks.
Good thing GreenSock is pretty darn performant at this.
Yeah.
Cool. So this is happening because we are placing things all over based on those negative value or not negative, but just these different values. So like
this looks exactly like it should.
Cool. Awesome. That's a good sign. So if we get rid of that, they should all be stacked center. Oh, I gotta run it, I guess. Always a thing I forget. Right. So they're all pretty much stacked center now.
You got it.
But this offsets them by that little like hand tweak that you did by giving them each. I'm gonna always forget to hit that button.
I think we might be through the biggest looping danger.
Cool.
Maybe.
Let's do it. The chat wants danger. They want excitement. They want will they, won't they crash their browser. That's what the chat's here for. So we got to give them what they want. Cool. So we've got our scroll distance stuff set up. We initiated each image with a whole bunch of different properties and put them inside of divs and then put them back into their group. So the HTML that we see here is no longer what we have in the DOM, right? Because we're plucking each image out, wrapping it, and putting it back in. Cool. All right. I'm ready for the next step. I've got my head wrapped around it.
So
it's good.
We manipulated the DOM how we want. Now we're going to animate these elements.
Cool.
Which means let's create a timeline on what line are you on?
I'm on 1.
Just after that last.
Go anyway. I'm at 54. Sound good?
Back in the onload after the last set.
Okay, so I'm looking at like a solid 27 or 28 here.
Sweet. That looks great. Okay, so then we're going to do TL equals GSAP timeline.
Cool.
And open and close curly brace.
Cool. So we're going to pass it like a config, or are these like the defaults or a config? Cool.
We're going to do all the above.
All right.
So first, let's just do defaults duration 1. I think
default
the
is an
default
object.
Duration.
Like that?
You're right.
Cool.
You got it. I think the default duration for GreenSock is half a second.
Okay.
But if you're making the entire timeline scrub, I think it's kind of nice and easy to give everything a duration of 1. So then you're thinking 0 to 1.
We think
sort
in
of as a
base 10
percentage.
around here. That's just the thing we do on the stream. We're kind of a base 10 stream. So yeah, I prefer it.
Okay, so then we're going to do an on update that I think we come back and do the on update. So
Cool.
just you leave that there, comment it out. We'll come back to it.
All right.
It'll
That
be
way we don't
just like
forget
a little. Exactly. Just is an anonymous function, and we'll fill that in when we come back.
Cool.
Okay, so then the last thing we're going to define is a scroll trigger. You got
Like
it.
that.
And then that gets an object. And inside of there, the trigger is going to be scroll dist. That was the proxy div. Sorry, you have.
Yeah, define it though, right? I put it in quotes and like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep,
but trigger.
You got it.
Cool.
The key is trigger and the value is scroll dist.
I'll come around eventually. So.
Cool. Okay, we're going to give start and end values. The start is when scroll dist is at the top of the window, so the value is top of scroll dist, top. Yep, you got it.
Cool.
So that's telling it to start, and then end when the bottom of scroll dist is at the bottom of the window. So bottom.
Bottom. Cool.
And then lastly, we're going to scrub.
Okay, cool.
So scrub 1.
These definitely were confusing for me when starting out. So we'll touch on these for sure. Can we also turn on the markers so that people can kind of see?
You can, but I think if you were trying to teach about markers, this isn't a great demonstration of that.
Cool.
Okay. It's going from what is at the very, very top to at the very, very bottom.
Got it. That makes sense.
And there is no toggle action. It's all scrub.
Okay.
So what we're telling this timeline that needs to have some animation added to it right after this, to just play to its progress based on the progress of this scroll. So from 0 at top and 1 at bottom.
Cool. So it's kind of like if you were to turn a YouTube progress bar on its side, or I guess turn it straight up, and then all of a sudden this becomes the progress bar for your animation.
Yeah.
Right. So
exactly.
that's the start of it, and then that's the end, and that's how these scroll animations work.
The scrub is telling it how long to take to catch up with that. It's basically easing the internal tweening of the progress.
Got it. So if you had scrub false or scrub 0, it would just be instantly along with it.
But yeah, there would be. Well, I think scrub 0. I don't know if scrub false would do it.
We can find out.
False might actually make it not scrub.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
It might not pause it by default.
Yeah.
But because we're scrubbing, we're scroll trigger to play to the progress that it senses.
Cool.
Okay, so that's it. That's the setup of the timeline config.
Okay.
Now let's give it some animation.
All right, sounds good. At the end of window load still?
You could just chain them together here. So instead of having a semicolon, just dot from, or actually we'll do dot from too.
Cool. So we're going to set the value that it starts as, and then what we animate to. So both halves of this animation, right?
You got it. I'm going to be a little bit slow here as I try and pick out the parts that are relevant to what we've done so far.
Okay.
Because as with...
We want to iterate through and do the quick thing.
Yeah, we'll come back and add more
Cool.
pieces. hey, do me a favor and line return before that period on line 39.
Sounds good.
That way, all of our animation from and to and from tos will line up.
Cool.
Okay, so we're going to reference all of the image boxes. So that was the class name that we gave to our image boxes. And this is going to get a starting value of z negative 5,000, which
Cool.
puts it way off in the distance.
Yeah. Okay. Well, not this. It's back. Got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then you don't need a comma there, but you do need a comma after your curly brace because your to prop object is going to be Z350.
Okay.
These are definitely values that I fiddled with for a while to get it just how I want it.
Exactly. 5,000 is the sweet spot as they know it. Yeah.
Well, the more you mess with the perspective of the parent or container element, then you need to go back and adjust the Z values to get what you want out of it.
Hey,
okay.
All right.
So this is taking all of them and woo, getting real big.
We're starting to see it, chat. Check it out. There we go.
Yeah.
Nice. And you can see
and it
the
has
easing
that 1
too.
second delay. Yep,
yeah.
That's the 1 second delay.
Yeah, let's see like 3 if you don't mind. Just like to play with.
It'll be real super eased or super sluggish.
Really cool. Awesome. Looking good.
Okay. So I want to get rid of the ease on this from to because this from to by default gets a power 1 ease out.
Okay.
So after Z350, let's do ease none. That way we're getting
linear.
Yes, exactly. Cool. But ease none is linear.
Cool.
And then let's stagger them.
Okay.
So that every one of them is spaced out by 0.3.
Okay. And do I pass a stagger property? I don't remember.
It's just a value. I mean, you could definitely do the longer syntax if you can. You maybe it's just a number value.
So
I've got negative 0.3.
It's like that.
Yep.
All right.
So now scrub it. Let's see what we got.
Nice.
One comes out, and another one's coming out, and then another one's coming out. You got it.
So good.
If you didn't do it negative, it would go from the opposite direction in the DOM.
Oh, kind of curious.
So
like they would already be past me a little bit, or no?
No. It would change which ones go first.
Oh, that's that's kind of neat still, but not what we want at all. But really cool. All right.
It's broken in a fun way.
Yeah. That's really cool though. It's looking so good.
What we've done so far is already a pretty cool effect, but because we've got the wrapper elements, we can start doing some more interesting things inside. Okay, so because we're going to have a fair amount on this timeline, let's start giving it some position parameters. So at the end of your previous curly brace, let's do 0.
Cool. Can you explain what a position parameter is real quick?
Yep. So GSAP timeline is a timeline, and anytime you put a tween into that timeline, you have to put it at a position. And if you don't give it a position, it'll default to the end.
So like after the previous one, right? So like if we change something on after this, it'll default to starting when this one stops, and then the next one right after. Got
it. So we want to define them to be all stacked, starting at the same time, because we want concurrent animation. So your next from to get rid of the semicolon on line 46, and then from to. and we're going to target all of the images inside of image box. So it's dot image box space img.
Cool.
There you go. And we're going to start the from object gets a scale of 3, and then to object gets a scale of 1.15. And then give it the same stagger, negative 0.3.
Cool.
And the same ease, none.
And that negative 0.3 is in seconds, right? So that's 0.3 of a second.
That's right.
But between each item. Sorry,
Right.
I realize I'm not doing a good job of like asking each property and everything. So yeah, that stagger is what separates each one out.
Your stagger is defined in seconds, and the negative just tells it which direction to sequence through from the top or the bottom of the DOM stack.
Cool.
Yes, which is the elements in the DOM.
Cool.
So is it going staggering from the bottom of the DOM, or is it staggering from the top of the DOM?
Got it. Oh.
Okay.
That.
Are we seeing some parallax?
Yeah. Well, like the
yeah. You're
the border or whatever
is as it gets closer.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So because the image box has overflow hidden, and the image grows inside, or starts big inside it, and then starts to come down, so we get this interesting effect of like, yeah. Chat, are you able to see that,
you're
chat?
Trying to,
yeah,
I can see it.
Cool. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
So, no, you got it exactly right. So we're trying to sort of like hint at what would naturally happen, which is as you approach the window, you could see more of what's through the window.
Right. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. I'm always curious to do like, do you have an image box thing up here? You know me, Tom. I've broken enough of your code pens for the sake of like a demo that I'm like, I want to like put like a red border on this and like show. So image box border 1 like solid red. It's just the territory with me, Tom. I'm sorry. Image. And then let's kill the overflow hidden, right? Because that would.
Is it working? Are you getting your red box?
I might not be, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think I am.
If it's not, it's because you're creating those image boxes after the styles were applied.
But shouldn't.
Well, it might be a function of CodePen, though. The way that it's injecting and applying things at different moments.
Huh. That feels strange, but I'll allow it.
Well, if you want to put a red box on,
we could do like a
the
GSAP
image box. Just do it inside the set where we're setting all the other properties on the box.
Yeah, that just
right
feels.
There at line 50.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
But like that just feels funky. That CSS should definitely apply. Yeah, there's something else where. Okay, it's fine. I'm way off topic. I wanted to see like it grow outside the border, but all good.
How about a 10 pixel? Are we just not seeing it?
I don't know. I can inspect it next if that doesn't take hold. Yeah, there's something off with it. Let me see. Inspect. Div image group, image box. Wait a minute. All right. Okay, so that's that one. We're not actually, because pointer events are none, so I'm not going to be able to grab it. Right? That's the issue, I think. All right. Image group. Let's go all the way to the bottom. Is this it? I guess that's it. And then the image is here. Yeah, so why won't you let me put a border on? There is a border there. What is stopping it from perspective? Transform left, top, right. Position absolute. Pointer events none. Does anybody know why we wouldn't? Oh, the image is in front of it, probably.
Why would it paint the image in front of it? Because the container box should.
A second position absolute. Would that stack it above it? No. I don't know. Chat, do we know? Do we know why this is getting a border, but not showing it?
But not rendering it.
Yeah. Totally off topic, so it's not important. We'll give it 2 more seconds. But, the transform. Transform's popping
So the
it
transform is messing with the... Interesting.
Yeah, translate 3D might kill, or no, it makes it go over top of the border. Whatever. Okay, interesting though, because the border's on the box. So it is going on top of it. The Z index isn't taking hold there. I don't know. Oh well,
it's
deal.
kind of a stumper for me too.
Yeah, that's funky.
It's not making clear sense why that would be, but I did run into some interesting cross-browser issues with pointer events.
Got it.
Specifically, Safari was giving me a nightmare when I wanted to toggle the hit area
Got it.
on or off of these things. Anyway, I won't go down that.
Yeah, sorry. I took us down a rabbit hole. I apologize. All right, so we're here.
Okay, well, so I think we're back to the timeline, and what we really need to do is have them fade off when they get really close to the front.
Cool. All right.
So that we can, okay, so then let's do...
Do we do a new from to for that? Or we keep the old one?
It'll just be 2.
Okay.
And let's target the image box image.
Just giving 1 property.
And duration 1, or duration .1.
Duration .1?
Yeah.
Oh. Got it.
0.1.
Got it.
Just make it real quick.
Cool. And stagger?
Then, no, opacity 0. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so we will eventually get to the stagger.
Cool.
Stagger -3. And then we'll also give it an ease expo in out, which will even further kind of sharpen the way that the opacity goes so quickly.
Got it. Just a GSAP ease. Docs.
And this will start at.
There we go. Just so I just want to visualize the expo. So, got it.
In out.
Cool.
The type, toggle the type. That's just out.
Perfect.
There you go.
Oh, okay. So very different than what we were saying.
So a really sharp in and then a really sharp out.
So like it's slow here and then shoom and then it got it. So takes a while to get going.
This ease visualizer, the value of this ease visualizer cannot be overstated. It's so good.
Oh, yeah, it is. Absolutely, it is something I've been to hundreds of times. Honestly, the fact that they don't have ads on this, Cassie, if you're watching, put ads on this because you make a killing.
You can
cool.
Just a quick aside on that. You can create your custom eases on there, and they become, like a path value, SVG path value.
Yeah.
And then you can cut and paste those strings. Say you have an ease that you like, you use it in your project, and then your client says, well, I want to adjust it a little bit. Rather than starting from scratch, you can paste that string into the bottom, that path value to I mean, it's not just an output thing.
Cool.
It's actually editable.
Yeah, I'm going in and tweaking it myself, and that's really great tip.
You can manually edit it, or you could paste in your existing custom eases.
It's a very confusing ease, but it's also number 5, so kind of points.
Yeah,
right?
I definitely saw the 5.
It's creative, but no, they've got some great ones here. Yeah, can't understate this enough. I'm gonna drop this in chat. David Trott, how's it going? GreenSock's make all this extra. Oh, Ben rated. Sorry, Ben. I've been engrossed with what we are making. Check it out. We got Dave Rupert and Ben Hung in the house. Check it out. Making cool scroll effects with Tom Miller. Really cool stuff. We have not done those yet. Those pending to be finished.
Yep.
But we're getting some really cool effects going. A little bit of parallax. And it's only going to get cooler from here. Ben, thank you so much for the raid. Let me give you a Ben Code Zen. Nice shout out. And Ben, by the way, you have a fantastic website. I just happened to be on the other day. I don't remember why. But yeah, just like everything you do, buddy. Hope you're doing well. And thank you again for the raid. Appreciate it. So we're doing a little scroll trigger. We're just setting some values here. And yeah, did this one apply yet? I don't feel like it did.
Okay, so we need to give that a position parameter.
Right. Is it going to be at 0 or towards the or something different?
No, you don't want it at 0, otherwise you'd be fading them off right away.
Too soon. Nope. Too soon. That is fine.
Let's do a couple of things.
Yeah.
Let's make room for those text animations that we're going to do in a second here.
Okay.
So let's start those 2 from 2s at 0.3 instead of 0.
Okay, so
yeah, you got 0.3.
Cool.
And that one too.
All right.
And then let's give this one to start at 1.2, which means it'll take effect 1 second or 1/10 of a second before the end of the previous tweet.
Oh,
does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
that is nice.
If it had been 0 before we made these position parameter adjustments, it would have been 0.9.
Got it.
On a 1 second tweet.
Perfect. Whew. Loving it. All right. Cool. So.
Yeah. So then next, let's animate the text.
All right. At the top, or I guess you can do it anywhere, right?
Yep.
So
yeah, let's do it at the top.
Cool.
It could be anywhere because you're absolutely positioning things with in seconds.
Chronologically, yeah. So just for chat, if this is your first time seeing a GreenSock timeline, we are not using the timeline in the typical way, right? In the way that we think of timelines. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Tom, but I would say that the reason we're using a timeline here and not just GSAP from 2, GSAP from 2, GSAP from like as its own thing is because of scroll trigger, where like we are trying to attach all these different animations to the same scrub of the scroll wheel or whatever. Yep. Where normally, if you have 5 animations that you want to happen all at the same time, you don't need like timeline is typically like a sequential. This happens, then this happens, then this happens, and timeline makes that very easy to do. But we're kind of breaking out of that, making it all happen like kind of at once. Although the change in the position parameter now does make timeline make sense again. But anyway, it's just it's an advanced timeline mechanic, right? For sure.
I think timelines are really useful for making better sense of your animation code.
Cool.
So instead of writing GSAP.from2, GSAP.from, GSAP.to, GSAP. And having all that stuff fire at once.
Yeah.
Just putting those all into a timeline and giving them all the position parameter of 0 would be just a little tidier. You don't have to keep writing GSAP over and over again because it's
true
chainable.
This is true. Makes sense. Well,
and if you later need to add some delay to it all, then you have the ability to do that. Plus, the timeline itself could be paused instead of having to pick through all of those animatable individual elements.
A lot of good points. I'm going to reach for timelines more often. I appreciate that. That's cool.
Also, it's easier to set default values. So if all of those things were going to animate for 1 second instead of having to go duration 1, duration 1, duration 1, duration 1, you could have just given them all a default value.
Cool.
All right, let's do from 2 at position 0 for text 1. So that's the scroll text.
Is it an ID?
TXT1. Sorry.
All good. Saving characters is crucial. So that is space.
They all add up.
Yeah. Cool. So
we're going to start that with a scale of 0.6.
Cool.
And then it's going to scale to 0.2. Or sorry, 2. Yeah, you got it.
Cool.
And then give it the position of 0. So right after your last curly brace on line 46.
Position parameter. Got it. All right. And comma. Nice. All right.
Okay, so that should make it animate, but it's not happening from the right spot.
Cool.
So then we need to set the transform origin to 50%.
Where do you do that? In which one? First one?
Do it in the from, because you want it to be there from the beginning. 50% will imply both X and Y 50%.
Cool. All right, so now it comes
so
to the
now
center.
It should come at us.
Nice.
Oh, where's our? It's like
broke the rest of the images.
We need. Yeah, no, we need the overflow.
Visible
on that SVG. It's in the CSS.
Okay. Let's see.
I mean, you could do it inline if you wanted.
Let's do it here. Cool.
Did it not work?
Did not. Wondering. That is the property, correct?
I think so. Overflow visible.
Teach me W3 schools. Yeah, visible. So I'm just going to do it on the thing just to get it done. No, it's weird.
What's it doing for us?
Hold on.
Oh wait, no, that's not. It can't be an attribute. It needs to be
style.
Style. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
Does that do it?
It looks like it. Yeah. Weird.
Oh yay!
All right.
Okay. So then.
Copy this to the other one too.
That's the. Let's do something more interesting with that than just the
scale.
Zooming in and fading out like we're doing with the images. Let's use DrawSVG to undraw the paths.
Awesome. How do we do that?
So that's a new. Let's do it in a separate tween.
Okay.
So that we can stagger.
Cool.
Also because we're going to affect the paths inside of the text one element.
Got it. Okay.
So it'll just be a 2, not from 2.
Sounds good. Text one.
And then we're getting the paths. You got it. And it'll be a duration of 0.3. And then you just say draw SVG 0.
Is it
because you're going to draw them
SVG?
all to, yes, draw SVG. You got it right there. Give it a tiny bit of stagger. So 0.05.
Okay.
And then let's do ease power 1 in.
I need a position parameter, right? And then ease.
That's true. Yep.
Power 1 like that, and then dot in.
Yep. Okay, so a quick little tip on easing.
Cool. Please.
If you give it the value power 1, that's implying out. By default, the string power 1 would be the same thing as power 1 dot out.
Okay.
So you need to explicitly say dot in if you want it to be a power 1 in.
Got it.
And that applies to all of them. expo is the same thing as expo out,
Cool.
or back is the same thing as back out. And then you can get specific about changing it with .in, .in out, .out. And then some of them take parenthetical modifiers,
Right,
which I don't
like
think we're going to do in this. Back.
Yes.
Which will, strengthen the changes.
Yeah. Cool.
And some of the modifiers get even more complicated than just a strength value.
Yeah, rough is template, strength, points, taper, randomized, clamp. Yeah, it's a lot. And then slow has the whole thing. Steps, right? Yeah. Anyway, lots of fun ones.
So, all right, so let's see what we got, because you positioned that at 0, so it should all be starting to draw itself off.
Yeah. Oh, and it staggers so that these L's at the end are still there when the S is gone.
Yep, it's going through the
really
stagger.
nice.
So if you did it the other way, negative 0.05, it would start with the L
Got it.
on line 57.
And you can even stagger from like the center, right? Or from a random?
Stagger can be an object that has its values, and they can get fairly complicated inside there too.
Cool.
That's definitely worth spending some time on the docs.
Cool. Awesome. I love this. All right. So we got that one going. I assume we're going to do a similar thing with text 2, just kind of in reverse.
Yep.
Cool. Where do we want to put that?
Well, it's not going to be until the end. So let's go to the bottom of this timeline.
Okay. Should I copy and paste any of this or just write it from scratch?
Yeah, sure. Let's copy and paste it.
Cool. Wasn't sure if it would be useful, but
Cassie,
Cassie's here, and Cassie gifted 5 subs. Thank you so much. Cassie, how you doing? It's great to have you here. And Brent said the new stagger object is so powerful. Totally agree. Yeah, it's really cool how you can stagger randomly or from the center, from the end. There's even a grid option, right? Like if you've got like an array of arrays, you can go from the center of the grid or something. I don't know. There's so much there. Yeah, Cassie, thank you.
The grid is worth spending like an entire 2 hours on another episode.
Is that what you did for the second one here? Or yeah, I guess
no, that's Canvas images.
Got it.
That are sequentially done. But the top of my CodePen profile is a grid.
That one too. Yeah. And you pick a random one. Got it. And that just turns the squares into circles and then back, right? Yeah. That one's a really fun one. Love it. I'm pretty sure I went through your CodePen when trying to figure out like a stagger effect for a pen I was working on. So appreciate it. Thanks for letting me always steal your stuff. Always fun. But yeah, Cassie, thank you so much. And
maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, no. And just bye to Dave. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. You were gonna say, Tom?
I think actually you were asking if I was using grid stagger on the GSAP homepage thing, and now I'm actually wondering if I did. I might have.
Who knows? Is this CodePen to that one? Let's see, homepage demo.
Yeah, I mean, you can go see how each one of them is done.
Just snoop around grid. Nope, doesn't look like it. Wait, hold on. Maybe.
There it is. It is grid.
Oh, it is? Cool.
Yep, it's definitely using the stagger grid.
Yeah, stagger grid. There it is. Sweet. Very useful.
It's a complicated object, so definitely worth checking out in the docs.
Awesome. This looks cool. I need to dig through this. I've not dug through this, so I'm kind of excited to do that for homework.
Every one of those homepage animations has a standalone CodePen demo.
Love it.
So you can see how it's all done.
That's a really smart idea.
We were at line 73.
Yeah, we were pasting in some of this text. Yeah.
Before you do that, Control Z, just let's add a label, a frame label that will, so dot add,
Interesting. Okay. I
and
don't know
then
if
the
I've ever done
string
this.
end.
Okay.
Okay, so you just made a label,
Cool.
and without giving it a position, it defaults to the very end of the timeline. So it's whatever the end of the duration of the very last tween.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So now
Yeah.
after this, we can make the position parameter for our next two tweens
Like end plus
relative
one or
to
something.
exactly, or n negative
Got it.
equals 0.2.
That's cool. Okay, nice.
So yeah, so now paste your stuff,
All
dot,
right.
and then paste your
That's a
stuff.
great tip. All right, so I'm gonna change the
Sweet.
1 to a 2.
Mm-hmm. And then change those position values on line 83 and whatever it is.
Oh, right. So
To, yeah.
end.
So this will be a string end minus equals. No, inside the string.
Oh, cool.
0.2, 0.2.
Okay, same
So
with the
do
other
that for
one.
both of them.
Cool.
Yep. So that you're relatively positioning them 0.2 seconds before the very end of the timeline that was existing before we added this.
So like the big benefit here is that we could add 50 images or 3 images, and we're not hard coding where the animation happens, because like all of this is dynamic, and that like we're getting the height, we're getting all of this stuff based on how many images there are in the DOM. So like that's the height, that's going to be how long we have to scroll for. And then this doesn't hard tie us to like 3 seconds or something like that. Like it's versatile.
Right.
It's all relative
Yep.
to the actual time. It's really good techniques.
100%. Very flexible.
Yeah.
And
So
okay, so we got to tweak one more thing about this.
do we have to reverse it, or?
No, let's just do from. I mean, maybe there's a way to do it reverse, but I feel like that just makes it kind of unnecessarily complicated. So did you do that one from DrawSVG? And then the next one will be.
So I got my from to for
got
text
the from
2. This is the scale. So
except let's get that scale to come from 1.1.
Cool.
Sorry.
0.1. And then what's going to end as? Oh, 0.1.
0.6.
And 0.6?
It starts from 0.1 and then it ends at 0.6.
All right,
We're just giving it a little, a little forward motion.
Sounds good.
And then I gave it a power 3 ease out on that from 2. So after,
Scale.
right there, ease power 3.
And then you said out is the default, so we'll just leave it there.
Out is implied.
Cool. All right, so we got the scroll, and then we have our things, and then just before the end, if we get there, I don't remember how many images there are. Not going.
You're not seeing it because I think we need a longer duration and a little stagger.
Okay.
So let's see. You're good there.
Wasn't sure if it's needed like no space or something.
So go to the duration on line 90 and give it maybe 0.4 seconds.
0.4, okay.
And make the stagger 0.15.
0.15.
And then let's make the ease sign in out.
Ease sign in out, like that.
I think that should get us there.
Skip to the end. No, it's not moving at all. So is this off? And Cassie, thank you for continuing the gift sub. Super, super awesome. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. Is that like something's not?
Oh, you can't space it out.
That's what I was wondering if because I did that, and I felt like you couldn't, but we'd check, and there we go. Okay.
Every character counts.
See, I'm just wasteful. I just want to throw characters willy-nilly, but perfect. That's really nice. That's super nice. All right, cool. Got it going.
Okay, so we've got to fade on those images.
Yeah.
we faded them off, but we didn't fade them on.
Yeah.
So
Here's our image box. Do we want to put it on that or on the images themselves?
you'll put it on, yeah, you'll put it on image box.
Cool. Start these at opacity 0. Or are we creating a new thing?
There's my, did you fade in and out the images? Okay, that's what it
yes,
was.
the images fade out.
We'll do the image box will toggle the pointer events, and then the image inside will fade on and off. So you've got it fading off.
Yep.
In a from tween above the fade off. Let's do the fade on.
All right. Hold on. Let me wrap my head around it. So this is beyond this. We're gonna do. This is the end text. And then this. So
you had a from to of image box image.
From to image box image. Here you go. Right here. But that's not what does the opacity. The opacity is this one, image box image. Cool. So the opacity one's here.
So between 70, right after 71.
Cool.
Let's do
from
to. I'm sorry.
Okay, you're good, man.
Let's do two things here.
Okay.
I'm trying to pick out the right parts of my finished code pen. Let's toggle the pointer events in a to function. So you're going to do .to image box, and then the duration is going to be 0 because all we're doing is toggling pointer events to auto.
To auto, right?
Yep.
Cool.
And then give it the same stagger of negative 0.3.
Cool. And then
you could position it at 0.3 so that they come on right away, but I like waiting just a little bit.
Cool.
Until they're really truly in scene.
The thing that people would expect to be able to touch at this point, right?
Exactly. So let's position it at 0.5.
Cool. And Ryan's here. Good to see
and then your next line will be a from.
Okay. Oh.
And now we're targeting the images inside of image box. So dot image box image.
Cool.
And the duration will be 0.3. Opacity 0. Again, it's a stagger negative 0.3. I guess at a certain point, if you use stagger negative 0.3,
you add it to the config or something
to make that part of the default.
Yeah. All good. And then you can just opt out of it elsewhere, right? Like stagger 0.
Exactly.
Yeah, all good though.
But I don't know. There's probably lots of ways I could improve the performance.
We're all learning, man. It's all good.
This is going to have a ease power. Okay, it's actually going to start at the 0.3. Ease power in, power 1 in out. I think I said this the last time I was on your show. My favorite fade opacity from 0 to 1. I like power 1 in out. There's something nicer than a linear or entirely eased out on opacity.
Power 1 in out.
So that's, yeah, so if you had that for opacity, you get kind of a little less change of opacity at the beginning, the bulk of it in the middle, and then it more gently feathers out at the end.
Cool. Nice. I'm excited to see it.
So yeah, that starts at 0.3.
All right. Nice. We don't see them all at once. That's great.
Yeah, there you go. Sweet.
That's really nice.
And then let's do the other image box pointer event toggle. Because the way it is right now, you have pointer events never getting switched back off.
Okay.
So they're blocking the ability to click them.
Got it. So where do we do that?
Just above where you added end.
Okay,
line
cool.
79. Above, yeah, add, yeah, you got it.
What are we
so
doing?
this just be a 2. Image box. And then duration 0, pointer events none, and the same stagger of negative 0.3.
Trend.
Totally could have made that part of the config.
Oh, good. So is it like 0.8 or something?
Okay, so then I did 1.27.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's obviously a very manually dialed in value.
Yeah.
It was the moment when it's just transparent enough that you don't think it should be clickable anymore.
Cool. All right, nice.
I think that's our timeline. I mean, it's looking pretty good, but we could add another layer of, but wait, there's more, by using mouse position to change the 3D rotations.
It adds so much. I'm excited for it. So so let me just check off this part. We set up our timeline. That's the timeline. Now we're gonna add some mouse interactions, and it takes on a bit of new life because this is really cool. Like this is already a great effect, but yeah, the next step, having maybe seen the finished result, definitely adds nice touch to it. So where do we do this?
Well, do me a favor. Back in the HTML, let's hide something or comment out. In the finished demo, you can click the images and get a detailed view.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to get to that today, so let's just get rid of that or just hide that portion. So line 41.
Detail. Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Right.
But while we're in here, let's take a look at this SVG element that has been hovering in the top left corner.
I got it.
Which is, it's just a circle. We won't use this path that's inside of here, which is the cursor close. That's what the cursor toggles to when you do go to the detail view.
Got it. We'll see it when we skip to the final version, but that's good to know. So
exactly.
That's like an X.
It doesn't hurt to leave it in there because the opacity is 0.
Cool. Got it. So that's what's up here.
All right, so back in the JavaScript.
Cool. Where do you want me, at the bottom of the window?
Inside of our init. I guess we're skipping the init image for now.
We can skip to the bottom of that, is what you're saying?
Yeah, let's go down to the very bottom.
Cool.
In my finished demo, I also did this little if statement that detects whether or not touch-only device is being used and gets rid of the cursor.
You know, I wish GreenSock had some kind of way of doing that, of like detecting things, maybe observing. It should be a nice Cassie. If you're here,
no, I don't want it. I don't want them to take control away though. Like, no. I want to only apply scroll stuff when it's appropriate, and then not like load up scroll stuff that could hurt performance on a mobile device.
No, it's all good. So Cassie, wasn't this part of the observer that you just launched in the last version, along with Scroll Smoother? Or am I misremembering one of the features of that? I thought that was partly observer. I was just being coy, Tom, and that like I think they either recently added this or they had that. So scroll trigger is touch. That just works. Like, so that's just going to be a Boolean, or that's. Let's find it.
Does that do the same check of whether or not OnTouch Start is in the window?
I don't know. If scroll trigger is touch, or get more specific, if scroll trigger is touch equals 1, it's a touch-only device. And any touch-capable device or a touch-only device. Cool. Can't tell you how
I've never seen this before.
But there we go. Nice. So No
Glad
touch.
you brought this up. I've never seen it.
Yeah, so 3.10 was that the one with is that the latest one? Static is touch. Maybe I'm misremembering. It's brand new. Okay, so yeah, it came with the last update. Cool. So we've got a built-in white. You want to give it a shot? I know it's a little bit different from what you've got in your code, but this should
It
work.
might be less characters, which every character counts.
Every character counts. So Cassie, if we've got this here, we should just be able to do scroll trigger is touch, right? Like, so that shouldn't break on us.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I'm feeling good about it.
Nice. All right. So
okay,
what
well
do we
then
do here?
Inside of is touch, then GSAP set cursor opacity to 0.
Wait. Oh,
set cursor is the target.
got it. I'm like,
GSAP
has that thing like that? Okay, got it. GSAP set. Is it hashtag cursor?
Yeah, ID of cursor. You got it.
Cool. I mean, now I just
0.
think that GSAP has every API imaginable, but maybe not set cursor yet. Cool. All right.
And then in my demo, I also am setting all of the X and Y offsets to 0 because X and Y positioning on the image boxes to 0 because I guess I didn't want like the staggering on mobile.
Way off on the sides where you can't even see it. Yeah. I get what you're saying.
I think I just wanted it to be a straight flow.
Straight shooting down the center.
Yeah.
Cool. So how did you handle that?
GSAP.set and then target the
is it image box class, image?
.img box. Yeah. And then no, not the images, just the
the box has it on there. Got it. Okay.
And then set the X and Y to 0.
Cool. X 0, Y 0. So that's
perfect.
This part. So you're not removing it from the HTML. You're just not caring about it. You're not listening to it anymore.
Yep.
Cool.
Got it.
All right. Nice.
Else, because we're on desktop.
Yep. Or actually, so in that case, we should probably do, because this is touch capable versus touch only. So you should probably look for touch only, because if someone has a touchable laptop, you know what I mean?
I'm reading it.
Oh, good. Your thing's popping a little bit. I'm gonna turn you down just a touch. We're getting some like static pops from you. Huh. No, it's like every a few a second. It's kind of getting a little rough. I turned you down so that the chat doesn't get it, but it's pretty consistent. I'm not sure what you can do. Bud's broke. I mean, he can still hear me. So Tom's battery's on the way out. You said what? Oh yeah, I think your headphones might be on the fritz, buddy. I'm starting to not be able to hear you. Shoot. Even I can't hear you now. Shoot. Yeah, check your audio settings. See if you can switch over to anything else. Till then, I'm gonna. Yeah. I can't hear you. I turned you down for chat, but I cannot hear you. Fuzzy, take care, buddy. He's saying that everyone should get Club GreenSock. Oh, Tom, is that what you're saying? Sorry, buddy. I should. Everyone should get Club GreenSock and use referral code Cassie. That makes sense. Okay, Cassie can hear you. Okay, Cassie's gonna translate. All good. So, okay, Tom, you are using. So check your browser to see what microphone is listed in what you're sharing with me. Maybe you have to jump over to a different mic if you're using your AirPods. I don't know. Airbud is the dog movie. AirPods is a different thing, I think. I can hear you now.
Is it any better?
Yes. Yes.
Really? Oh
Yes.
God, good.
Yeah. The popping's gone. The
We just
locking is
crashed and
gone.
burned at the very end.
Almost, but we're good. We salvaged it. So
All right.
I was just saying, like people have laptops that you can touch, and you wouldn't want to assume it's mobile and turn off the fun, if that makes sense. But if it's touch only, it's safe to assume that it's, I mean, we're not doing a perfect thing here, but I think that you would opt for this one, right? Does that make sense? Because
is touch default to the same thing as is touch one, or does
so it returns a number, and because 0 is falsy and 1 and 2 are truthy, this one will return false if it's 0, but will return true if it's touch only or touch input and mouse pointer. So does that make
Got
sense?
it. Yep. So
Cool.
you're 100% right. So
Cool.
let's
So yeah,
do
we're looking to capture phones in this check. So I think that one's the way to go.
Yep.
That's a really cool thing.
Perfect.
So cool. Sorry to delay, but we got your back. So else what?
Let's give it add listener for mouse move on the window.
Okay, cool. So window, add event listener, mouse move. Is that camel case or just that?
I think it's that way.
Cool. All right.
I am so bad about using shortcuts in my pens. So I always do just window.onMouseMove equals and then a function.
That works too. I mean, either way. But
so then we're going to do a GSAP 2 tween on all the image boxes.
Gasp. How many times have you written gasp in your life instead of GSAP? GSAP 2.
A lot.
Yeah. On all of the what?
Image box, class of image box, .img box.
.img box. Cool.
And then I'm going to give you a whole bunch of values that took a while to dial in.
Cool. If it's a ton, you can paste it to me in Discord, and I can paste it in. That works too.
I mean, it's enough that let's not dictate it all.
Cool.
Hey, give me the direct one again. Say hi to me in our chat.
Whenever Tom asks for the Discord, like, where's our chat? I go, hi. And he goes, oh, okay, thanks. And then he goes and finds it. So it's
it hides our your icon in the left side, which is
Tom's had me blocked for a while, everyone, and he's trying to play it off like, oh man, I didn't unfriend, I didn't block you. Yeah, it's fine. I'm used to it, but yeah, I mean, honestly, any chat app that you're not like used to is confusing to like find things. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm glad we pasted this. So X% minus, All right.
Okay, so let's just talk through it real quick.
Yeah, for sure.
Every image box, we're going to give it some horizontal and vertical motion as it's that is impacted by the mouse position within the viewport.
Got it.
So that's the client X at times 100. Oh, you dropped some multiply. Inner width times 100. I think it lost on the cut and paste.
It formatted. Discord saw this as, oh, he's trying to do italics. Let me help. So yeah, you got some help from our friend Discord there. All right, cool.
Thanks, Discord.
Yeah.
All right, so we're doing the X% and Y% to manipulate sort of lateral and vertical adjustments based on mouse position as a percentage of the window.
Okay.
So if you scroll in a little bit, you can actually see what that did.
So
does that make sense?
Good. Yes. Well, I mean, so like I see that we are affecting things based on where my mouse is on the x-axis and where my mouse is on the y-axis, and the rest is kind of just like, and then you math that, and you take the inner width of the window and the inner height of the window, and yeah, you do math around that until you get what you like. Is kind of like how I see this, and how
Yeah,
I like come
it's
back to it and do that sort of thing. But
it's absolutely iterative. Like you have maybe kind of like a good guess at where to start, and then you see if that's right, and then you adjust. And I definitely didn't know the magic numbers from the start.
right,
But if you remember when we set the box properties for the image boxes, we gave it an X% -50 and a Y% -50. So that is the middle. So you're going in either direction of that.
got it. And this is like really going to change if we change the perspective, right? Where if we, I'm taking a guess. Oh wait, this is, no, it doesn't change that.
No, because the perspective was on the
Box.
app.
Oh, okay. Got it. For some reason, I thought
That might actually
change.
that perspective would impact the perspective on the images
Got it. Okay.
inside
I thought it would
the
change
image
like
boxes.
the skew of it. Either way, awesome.
Okay, so if you wanted to play with like the severity of the perspective, you just change that all the way back up at the on window load when we set the perspective to 300 on the app.
Got it. Was just curious. No need to derail any further. So
Okay,
we,
so then
yeah, we got
the
that
other
part.
thing we got to talk about is the rotate X and Y.
Got it.
So
So
the
this.
rotate X
Here.
and Y is doing all the single ladies with the like.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So it's rotating the object on the x-axis and then on the y-axis.
and the Y-axis.
Got it.
You got it.
All the single ladies.
And very small. Any reference that I've got for you is going to be like a throwback.
No, it's well. I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to the animation course you put out. That's all Beyonce songs. Just like explaining through Destiny's Child, Beyonce songs and lyrics. It's helpful for people. It's perfect.
We'll be on and off the air in one day because she's got good lawyers.
I assume so. Yeah.
Okay, but exactly the same thing we did with the X and Y percent. We're doing that to rotating on the X and Y axes.
Yeah.
And then this other thing that I pasted into Discord was a GSAP 2 tween on the images inside the box. So that's
a little extra
creating
parallax.
further parallax of moving those images inside the window.
Yeah, like like that's cool and all, but
that's good, but it could be better.
It feels like one solid photograph that's moving around, where if we bring that back, you get this like image inside a window kind of feel, where you get that little bit of parallax. It feels like it's
a little bit more reveal as you like look around the corners.
Yeah, exactly. Really cool.
Let's do one last thing because I think we're pretty close to the end.
Yeah.
Let's right after that last tween do GSAP.2. And then you're going to get the cursor ID. Yeah.
Cool.
Give it a duration of 0.25 and set the X to E.client X and Y to E.client Y. Just so that your cursor will chase your mouse around.
Nice.
And then we want it to like pick up on, we want it to know when it's
On an image.
indicating you could interact with the image. So back in the init image function,
Yep.
Let's add target on mouse over.
Where do you want that? At the end of the
Just
set?
down at the very bottom, after the box, that big set on the box. Yeah.
On mouse over, like that?
It's all lowercase. Equals
that takes a function.
Anonymous function. Sorry, I'm leading you down the quick and easy path.
All good, all good.
If you do it on mouse over as a property of target, then you need to assign an anonymous function. So equals, and then you got it.
Cool.
So then inside of there, let's tween the cursor circle element.
Yeah, I crashed it. I think we killed it. We went back to the loop and I'd done a goof. Yeah.
Anything inside of that was looping.
Yep, exactly. So let me try to kill that window. Let me see what we left off with. Do we still have some stuff? Yeah, where the cursor's following us. All right, so init image. All right. Cool. Just turn and then we'll do this. All right, so we were doing what here?
Target dot on mouse over, or if you like add event listener, that's just as good.
I feel like there is a reason why we should do add event listener now. Chat, do you know? Whoa! Cassie just dropped a 25% off club GSAP coupon for y'all. Horse25, really appreciate it. There's so many good plugins, and we're using one right here, right? DrawSVG is one that you get with Club GreenSock. It's fantastic. Cassie, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Super kind. And Aaron, good luck,
great.
buddy. Sorry, Noobtacular. It's so fun. I will be a little more mindful of the motion sickness. Yeah, the motion sickness thing. When you control it, it's not as bad, but I also get motion sickness, so I totally hear what you mean. And even if I didn't, I still, I don't get that, so I don't care. No. Target add event listener 2. Can you still hear me, buddy? Are you gone? I think we lost Tom. All right, so what we're gonna do, because we are at time. Tom, can you hear me? Just nod if you can hear me, so I can at least talk. Okay, cool. All right, so I am going to. Oh shoot, Tom, can you send me the pen, because I only have it in my Slack, which is not open because I don't need work Slacks coming through. So drop it over here and I can show it off for the last minute. It's pretty close to what we have here. We did awesome. Oh, and you made it public. Perfect timing. So this might look familiar to everyone. And if you are getting a little motion sickness, you might want to, I don't know, hold on to something, or just I'll be a little more gentle. So we get some nice cursor effects. Oh, and I can drop this in chat actually. Hi everybody. Oh, okay, noob. Just checking. I do want to be mindful of that stuff, because vestigial disorders, absolutely very common. So we see that we can click on this, and if we do, we get a really slick little light box with the caption that's in the HTML. Tom, sorry for having to show off your pen, buddy. I hope I'm doing it justice. Just give me a real nasty.
You're doing great.
Oh, I can hear you. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, you're back.
I have a suspicion that these earbuds have gone faulty on me, but they are really, really heavily used. So
got it. Okay, cool. But yeah, man.
Sorry.
So it's awesome. So you get all these nice little details to it. Scroll through, the whole thing is just fantastic, Tom. Thank you so much for showing us how to do this.
We never ended up circling back to that one thing that we stubbed in at the beginning, the on update.
Yeah. What was that
top of the timeline
for?
If you find it in the final pen, you'll see it's got a little comment there. It explains that the code there is going to close the detail view on scroll. So when you get into it, if you want to just exit more easily than a click, you can scroll out of it.
That's a great touch. That's really nice.
This was a lot of fun, man. I really appreciate you giving me a chance to geek out on a lot of GreenSock tricks that I love.
Tom, I promise you the pleasure was ours. This was an absolute blast. Thank you for making such a cool thing and sharing it with us, walking us through. We learned a lot. We laughed a lot. This was a lot of fun. Just chatting about Quick 2 again. It's way better for mouse move stuff. Quick 2. I feel like you might have told me about that.
I think it'll, it optimizes some of the things that would happen every time if you're repeatedly calling.
Got it. So Cassie, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that? Oh, does it like, I'm going to take a stab at it, Cassie. So 99% chance that I'm wrong. Does it like know when to drop something? So like, as you're calling for each frame of the animation, does it know like, all right, we're already here. We don't have to use all of the ones in the middle. We can just kind of like lerp to that, or I don't know. I'm curious. Look at the docs. I want to ask people. That's why I have a show. I don't have a book club. I mean, come on. That's why I bring people on. That's why I ask you things. That's why I DM you, Cassie. Look at the docs. I don't read. I don't read. Anyway, Tom, seriously, man, thank you so much for coming on. Folks, go check out Tom's Code Pen. I would tell you to check out Tom's Twitter, but he's a smart person, and he doesn't have a Twitter. So shout out to Tom for being the only person smart enough to stay off of Twitter. Honestly, I want to have you back just to teach us your ways there, because we should all just abandon that awful place. But yeah, Tom, you're fantastic, man.
Thank you so much, Alex.
Yes, this is a really good time. And chat, thank you for hanging out. This was a lot of fun. Y'all were really wonderful. And Cassie, thank you again for the gifts and the Horse 25
discount.
Yeah,
great,
super kind. So, chat, we're gonna go raid a friend. Gonna bring you into the loving embrace of another streamer. So hang in there. Let's find somebody great, and we will see you on Thursday. Take care, everybody.
Bye.